because I want to get us there. I want you to get there. Okay? Okay. Now, we talked about having the partner muscle test you to make sure that you're strong with this statement that's on this card that's been circulated. Make sure that when you put it just under the breast, and you're holding on to it, and you're thinking about this statement, and you've got your arm out, make sure that when your partner is testing that on, and you're thinking about that statement, you are strong. Right? Okay, now, I'm getting ahead of myself with the muscle testing. What did we do to get to this point with muscle testing? How did we start with the muscle testing? How did we start?
Ask permission.
Pardon me?
Ask permission.
Ask permission, excellent. What's the next step?
Your name.
Name. We start with the name, right? Okay, like I am, keep using your full name, right? As we're testing this. What's the next step? Okay, index finger from the tester onto the testee right here, right? So I think put it right there, and then test again. The arm should be weaker. And remember, if it's not weaker, but that, so then we either stroke down or up on the back. Say 10 or 15 times and retest. Okay? All right, so what do we do next? Next goes to this. Okay, good. Okay, makes sense. Now, okay, now you might ask, why are the B vitamins so important? Well, the B vitamins work on every part of the system that goes straight on down the central axis. It works in our brain. It works on our heart. Okay? It works in the gut. It works on our energy levels. It works in our nervous system. It works just about every vitamin is somehow connected to the use of the B vitamins. You won't absorb vitamin C without the B vitamins. Did you know that? Most people don't. Okay. The B vitamins are incredibly important also for us to have a lot of clarity and focus with what we're doing. And you cannot do this work if you're lethargic, muddy thinking, or you're feeling either depressed or anxious. And the B vitamins help with both of those two conditions to eliminate those. Now, because everyone is different here, we have a number of different B vitamins through here that you can test. And we also have information about the different ones that are here. So here's what we'll do. Okay. We already have the statement, we have it circulated, we've already muscle tested, it's strong. We're thinking about this statement. We know it's already strong. I could pick up any one of these B vitamins, I could put it here, say this, right there, and keep thinking of my statement, and then have your partner test you again. While you're holding the B vitamins. Okay. Now, if the energy of the B vitamin complements your statement, what should happen to the strength of your arm? Stronger or weaker? Stronger. That's right. And if it doesn't complement, if the energies do not complement, what can I expect? Weaker. Makes sense? Now, I want to let you go right now, but there's a question here. Come on, let's still uncertainty. What's the uncertainty? Gene, do you have a question? Is all this clear? Because it's coming from this area.
So the statement will be the goal we want to achieve, things we want to precisely.
You have the ability to answer any and all questions, to know the answers to whatever it is that is bothering you or necessary for you to know. What would you do? What would you do right now? How would that improve the quality of your life? Now, we already had a statement from the lady behind you about, she would become a health coach, she would be doing this and this and this. That's what I'm asking you to do. Would you build your house? And if you did, would you build it here, for example? These are questions I want you to really start thinking of. Okay, now we've shifted from here. We do have a question. Okay, there's still something going on in this group. Maybe you will get to it.
I'm not real sure what my statement's going to be. I know what I need to. I know what you're asking, but I'm just trying to think.
Would you mind, for the rest of us, if you don't mind, would you mind standing just for a moment? This is important. Isn't it nice?
More than one.
True, right? Okay, so let's help her. Let's help her because this will help all of us. Okay, so as a starting point for your idea about what you would want, what would you say, just to get started?
Well, I was trying to decide between career and relationship
Why did you
issues.
choose them? Why can't you have all? Can that just take?
Oh, okay.
And you understand, she could have
Like,
both,
geez, I
right?
thought it was all going in the same statement. I can cover it all.
I was trying to focus on one.
Okay, and you can, but we really can have both, right?
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense? I mean, God's not gonna limit us, why would we wanna limit ourselves?
Sure.
So is that good? Okay. Now, the other question is, thank you, that's how simple this could be, but the other question is, you may be thinking, how am I going to get there? If I write this down, how in the world am I going to get there? We've already covered this. We've covered this, so what's the answer to that question? Doesn't matter, we don't have to know. What do we do have to do?
Expect it.
Have
Expect
faith.
it,
Have
faith.
faith.
What about this? What about the heart? Where does that come in? Enthusiastic. We've got to not just expect it, we have to have enthusiasm about it, like, I can't wait, it's right here, right?
High emotion.
Got it. That's right. Because without the emotion, it's just a thought process, and our thoughts are not going to get us there by themselves. Okay?
This has really been working for me, and the feeling for me is
Bruce, would
just,
you mind standing for so people can hear your voice?
yeah, I won't go into all the details, but this has really been working for me. And my feeling about that, because I mean, you know, I have like big time in the head and big time trouble in the body, just kind of getting there. But for me, that illustration really works. It's just opening up, you know, it's Susan's ground and open up the crown chakra and just feel the energy of the right statement. Just feel it. Just let it flow. And I don't have to work up an emotion, you know, I'm supposed to, you know, I just have to keep working on this, just keep oaring. It isn't that way at all. It's just stand in it. And I just had a conversation with a friend saying how fabulous this is. And she said, the minute you said it was working for you right now and you feel you're in the middle of doing it right now, I don't have to wait, I don't know the steps, but I don't have to wait. And it just, I used the word, I just feel it embodied. And she said, the minute before you said embodied, I saw your body in the middle of it. It was just around me and just part of my energy.
Right.
But I'm embodied in it right now. And amazing things have happened in the last 14, 12 hours.
Well, thank you for that. And one of the things you'll find is not so much the techniques and methods being difficult. You'll work that out. What's really hard about this, because I understand what you're saying because of my thinking process too. What's really hard about this is it's so darn easy once you understand this.
Yeah.
It's so easy, it's got to be hard. Somehow I'm going to make it harder because I know there's something more I'm missing. Well, please, I've been through this. I still can go through this if I'm not careful. It's not that hard if we give it permission. It takes practice, it takes dedication, yes, but anything worth it is going to do this. It's just a change of living from competition, and that model of competition, like the email was, to a change where we're now all working together and everyone wins at the same time. It's a huge shift in consciousness.
You're right, I have to keep saying to myself, do not stop the flow.
Right.
If I'm in the middle, stop in the flow. Do not stop the flow. I have to constantly give it permission to give me all of my good, and
That's right.
for me to accept it. That's right.
Is there a question? Was there a question?
No, that was,
Okay.
Sandy and I away.
Okay, so are we,
Yeah, so part of my unwillingness to run forward is the idea that you have to have it all. In this moment, I have to write a statement that encompasses everything.
no,
You can do one thing.
as little or as much as you want. It's up to you. I was just saying, since Amy was asking about a choice, her spirit was saying, hey, tell her to take both. And you picked up on it. All of you picked up on it, because you all are encouraging her to do both. And if you want to go for the third item, go for the third. You can do it. But Ruth, do what you want right now, because whatever you do is a huge shift. Huge. Okay. I think we've answered it a lot. The energy's dying down. It's time now to put it into practice. Please take, if you would, just take 15 minutes. We'll be back here. Let's see what happens. Okay? If you have questions, ask. Susan and I will do our best to answer those questions. The cards are up here. Information about the B vitamins are there. The box of B vitamins are here. There's also one extra one. That's, you can test this one. Surprise yourself. More results. Okay, any observations? What did you find as you were doing this work?
Well, I guess what I'm trying to test
The
is
B
whether
vitamins. Did you
I
find that
can
certain B
return.
vitamins made you stronger? Did you find that certain made you weaker?
Yes.
Whether you find that by changing your statement, you would get a different result.
You know, he knows that
Yeah, by changing the word.
I can't financially, but part of me, you know, is willing to take
It's,
a chance.
what you've got to understand, and this is very, very important, this is extremely
Okay.
important. A simple change of a word, as we've seen, a simple
Context
change of a word can make a huge difference as to the result of what you're going to get in your muscle test. A simple change. Now, how do you know?
Because it just works.
Yes, practice. Practice and practice, and when you practice enough, practice more. You've got to learn to practice. Because your spirit is trying to tell you all this information, it's trying to give you the answers before you write anything down. It's already trying to tell you, do this, even though our brain may be saying, do that. If you follow your brain, most of the time we're going to be wrong. And even if we keep it simple, like I just want to have focus, I want to have clarity. I may not want a new car, I may not want a different relationship, I may not want X, Y, or Z, I may just want to focus. That can be more than enough at this time. Yes, Roger. Would
Gary?
you mind standing, Roger, please?
I decided to bypass the muscle testing here a while back, and I decided that I would made a choice to go the inner knowing route.
Okay.
So for the last week or so, I've been doing a muscle test to verify. First of all, I've been asking for a knowing, and a little voice or a little knowing has come to me. Then I've done a muscle test to verify that,
And they've been matching.
and they've been matching. They didn't at first, but I got them matching now. So,
But you've been muscle testing for quite a while,
oh, years.
years. Thank you.
Okay, but now I've just kind of gone to the knowing.
Right. And you'll get there. That's right, and you'll get there. But you get there through the testing. Make sense? Now, what am I missing? Any observations that you need to know as a group? Any observations? Anything else? Sandra, would you mind staying, please?
My question slash comment is, our brain is a wonderful thing.
Don't leave home without.
But, yes, but our brain, is it our brains wanting to keep the stories going that result in blocking me sometimes? Like the brain is keeping that story going when I need to let go of the story to move on.
What do you think?
Is that,
What do you think?
that's what I've done.
And that's a fair estimate. Because this is how we've been trained for 250 years to rely on our brain. So yes, in answer to your question. Okay? Now, because we can't do this by ourselves, and we need as much practice as we can, I'm glad you're keeping up with your partners. Is that true? You're calling each other, thinking about each other, right? We're meditating on that concept, right?
If we're not you, how do you do this?
You practice and you do it. You practice and you start doing
Well,
it. Okay,
what
but if you can't, it's okay. Then keep muscle testing your friends until you can. And then start separating the distance. Now they're no longer in front of you. Maybe they go around the corner. Okay, and you kind of see where they are, and then you come together and you muscle test them and see. You've got to start creating some type of scenario where you can start gaining confidence in distance.
Okay.
Now, what that is for you, I'm not sure, but
You're just visualizing it, is what you're
oh,
telling
yeah,
me.
just you just
Yeah,
close your
okay.
eyes or keep them open, or you're right there standing in
Okay.
front of you, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, I can go with that. I just thought there was some technique you're supposed to do to yourself while the other person gets it, blah, blah, blah.
If they want something like that, I don't care, but I want to keep this simple.
A little perverse.
If you have hands and wear a blindfold or something.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, anything else? Anyone else? Okay. Now, about praying for each other, like seeing each other doing well, how are we doing with that? At 9 o'clock at night. Any further off? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Okay? We can all do better with that too.
Do we want to read the statements like twice a day, or
Oh, please, which my statement, so everyone can hear. I just want to make sure everyone can hear.
do we want to read the statement like in the morning, at night, or practice with it as much as we can?
Okay, you tell me. What should we do?
It's up to you.
Wrap it around your money.
Wrap around your money, okay, and then do what?
And then tell her,
Meditate.
It's
So
your
we
opportunity
give.
for yourself.
Okay, so we wrap it around our money, as an example, we wrap it around our money, the statement, and then what do? Right, we give it permission to work all through the day and night without we having to keep thinking about it. We just let it go. That's one way of doing it. Now, I would suggest, until you really get some confidence with that you check in a couple of times to make sure the energy is propagating around the world. And if it's not, start it up again. That's a great idea. Great idea. Now, if we don't want to do that, what else could we do? That's right. We can program our water. Right? With a statement, we can actually write the money there, put the program that we want, the statement, see in our mind that it's going right through into the water, or programming the water, so we're actually drinking our statement. You can take it into your office. Can you imagine that? Sit it on your desk, and now that energy is just permeating the office. Great idea. Great idea. Okay? Great idea. And if we do want to just think about it in isolated parts of the day, to make it work, we'd want to do it at least 25 times. A day? And maybe 30. So think of what we're saying right now. Think of what we're saying. We can try to do this 30 times a day, or we can turn this into a natural phenomenon for us, so this is what we're doing every moment, because this is who we are. You choose. Because one way or another, if you do it enough, it's going to change you.
Gary, one thing I haven't heard you mention is that after you said the emotion, I learned it's very important to continually express gratitude for its fulfillment, because gratitude will shift the power even higher.
Yep.
That's right. Gratitude, expectancy, enthusiasm, you're right. You are exactly correct. They all must be there. You're right. Yeah. So what do you think? Finished? Doing pretty well? Okay. Is item
That's it.
I thought I saw you leave. Shall we say a prayer?
Okay, yes. All right. Oh, we are so grateful, precious Spirit, for your presence being here in this room. Grateful we are for being your children of light. With all the lessons learned here tonight and the sharing of experiences, we are continuing to grow and letting our light shine. Lights shine. We are stepping into the light. And all that we have been looking for is returning to us. And for this we are ever so grateful. Grateful we are. And we are here with open minds and open hearts. And we know that we'll let your loving life force continue to run through every cell of our being, so that we will be able to handle any challenge that comes our way. Many challenges will just be dissolved with this love, this same love with which we surround all of those who may be in need of prayer support this evening. And we are blessed to have each other and to have this opportunity to come together and to raise each other in consciousness and continue to live in that state of expectancy of good always. And so it is. Thank you, precious friends. Amen.
Is there anything you'd like to say? Okay, would you mind saying, we've got one final thing, and this is important. I'm sorry about this, but let's finish this.
Okay, so I was telling Dr. Berman where I was asking, what I wanted to get to is, do we need the opportunity in this plan? Because I feel that I've been doing similar activities when I was younger. I grew up seeing, hearing, and feeling things that conventional people do not. And I used to do that, and I continued with that up until I got to a point where I became so scared, my fear held me back. And that's when I stopped practicing all these things. So in the last few years, or year, I've been trying to allow myself to have the ability to not be so scared when I hear these things, when I see these things, and when they speak to me. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because when I practiced this as a very little girl, there was no opportunity involved. The money wasn't there. What we're discouraged to do, in class, daydream. I always found myself daydreaming and dreaming about being a dancer. Well, in high school, I made the dance team. And it dawned on me one day, oh, I used to daydream about being a dancer all the time. And then in high school, when I made it to high school, I always daydreamed about Paris. And then it dawned on me one day when I was 23 years old and I lived in Paris. I used to daydream about this. And so that's why it just made me start thinking again, I used to do this all the time as a child. Can I still continue this as an adult? And it's because we've become so jaded as adults, that's why we need the opportunity for us to get there.
Well, it's a good question. What do you think is the answer? And that's a very good question, Jay. So what do you think is the answer? Is it,
Yes.
and I want to make sure of this, why do we need to use the money as a source of opportunity?
Symbol.
Symbol.
It's an energy.
It's an energy. It acts to us like a battery to remind us that this represents something that we can remember as opportunity. Now, you could use anything you want. You could use gold, silver, you can use bonds, you can use anything that matters that's important, that shows importance. But whatever it is, it must bring opportunity to you. And I don't know too many other things other than this that does that. Getting through it? It's just to remind us that there's opportunity in this world, and this is a filter to really attract only the best and exclude everything else. Right? Very welcome. Okay. So, what do you think? Good session? Pat yourself on the back. You did great. You really did. I look forward to next week. So let's hug each other.